How's it going, everybody? This is TrixX Smash, so welcome back to yet another online Elite Smash match. And buddy, you look incredible today. Just in case no one's let you know, buddy, hopefully you're having a fantastic day. What we do on this YouTube channel is take your comments, yes, the comments from the viewers, and turn your comments into videos and answer your questions. So if you're someone who has a question you want to have it turned into a video, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, leave a comment, and I'll turn it into a video. So today's question comes to us from a player named That Boy, and his question is, how do I effectively practice neutral? I will say for many players, if not all players, this is probably the #1 most difficult thing in the entire game that you'll ever practice. So we're going to talk about that at length today. And at the same time, I want you guys to pay attention to this match or this set that happens in the background. This is a player who I will say is undoubtedly better than me. He's a pro player named WebJP. He used to play Corrin and now he plays as Sheik, as you'll see here. And his neutral is fucking insane. I try my absolute best to keep up with him, but he does in fact clap my booty cheeks. So we're gonna be watching this and you're gonna see how long these games actually take. You're gonna see how broken Sheik can actually be. Even though this is online, I will say I am cooking a little bit right here. And I do have some pretty good exchanges where I do happen to win a good amount of neutral. But against a player of this caliber, one of the biggest things that you're going to notice about how he plays is he does not do anything that is foolish. He doesn't do anything that is stupid to just lose for no reason. He does not just YOLO dash attack or throw out 15 smash attacks or just jump up my shield and wail away with F tilts and down tilts and let himself get punished. If he has an opening, he goes for it. If he does not have an opening, you will see he plays unbelievably safe. These are some of the longest games that I've played, and trust me, I've played some very long games that go absolutely to time. And I knew for a fact that this was going to be an uphill battle, and it absolutely was. I ended up losing both of these games in a absolute nail biter in a very sad way, I will say, quite sad. But the main takeaway of how to practice neutral is understand. This is gonna be tip #1, I will say. We're not really doing a top 5 here, but I will say the first tip on the list is know what makes your character fast. That is very important. I'm gonna say it again. Know what makes your character fast. If you have moves that have tremendous startup or they have a ton of landing leg or end leg, these are moves you do not want to throw out multiple times in neutral, even if they are combo starting moves, I will say, because if you see just like that, I threw out a fair, which is very slow on landing, and I got footstooled into down air. Not very sick. Not sick for me, at least, I will say. So I get humbled quite a bit in here because I throw out moves that are not safe. And at the end, I will say I start to adjust quite a bit because I didn't know at the time that this was WebJP. I had somebody come into my chat later and say, brother, you're about to get schooled. You're about to have a very bad life and a very bad time because you're about to get shit on by someone who's not fucking around. And that is in fact what happens here. And so like I had mentioned, the first thing is knowing what your safe moves are. If you have moves that auto cancel on landing, or they have very safe landing leg, or they're very safe on shield, a -2 or a -3 or something along those lines, those are going to be your main neutral tools. Then once you know what your neutral tools are, the next thing is going to be playing safe. This sounds obvious, but most players don't play safe because they want to impose their will and say, I have all the skills to destroy whoever I want to fight, so I'm going to do whatever I want, and they're not going to be good enough. They are not going to be good enough to punish my mistakes. So when I make a mistake, I'm actually going to be just fine. I was actually quite lucky right there to throw out the F smash. It was pretty well spaced, I will say. You only got an F tilt. Could have been a lot worse. And so if you're someone that does not know what your safe moves are, I reference this all the time, and that is go to ultimateframedata.com and look at your character's moves. Everybody looks at one box on that website, and that is, how safe is my move on shield? That's the #1 box that people look at. Is my move -7 or -5 or -20, and should I avoid using this move in neutral, or should I do this move? That is a important box, I will say, but an even more important box when you're trying to have a good neutral is you want to be able to see what moves have a short overall animation. You have some moves that are quite fast on startup, but they last for a very long time. I'll say a move like Pikachu's T-Jolt, for example. I'm not sure what it starts up on. It's quite quick, but I will say that it is a move that is 55 frames long. 55 frames where you cannot air dodge, jump, or throw out another move. So even though it feels quite safe to sit back and throw out T-Jolts, if somebody can make a read and just jump in on you for free and you panic, that is bad neutral. Although the move itself did not get punished, it's the fact that it put you into a state of panic where you thought to yourself, I need to shield immediately, or I need to roll away or spot dodge or throw out jab instantly because they are in my face and they're about to clap the shit out of me. So if you know you have a move, and I will say, T-Jolt is a very good move. It is quite a good move, and you should use it in neutral, but you need to know what you are committing to. If you know for a fact that you're committing to a 55 frame frozen animation where you cannot do anything else, you better be throwing this move out safely at a distance, following your T-Jolt or using it to condition your opponent. But if you know that once you throw out your T-Jolt, your opponent is going to try and stop you from doing that, whether it's using a reflector or trying to rush in and jump on you to stop you from smashing that button, then that is what is going to happen. You have to prepare for what comes next. So if you're just willy-nilly throwing out certain moves and you feel like it's going to be a grand old time, that is the definition of bad neutral. The other part of it as well is knowing basically all the frame data of other characters' moves. That sounds like a gigantic feat, and I will say it's something that does take a lot of time, but if you want to have good neutral, knowing what your opponent can and can't do as well is also going to make your neutral better, because you'll know, oh, they did something that is unsafe. For example, Sheik's down air is minus 16 on shield, so if he throws out a down air and he doesn't throw it out high enough where he can cancel it, I know for a fact that I can punish that with at least something. A side B, a down tilt, a dash grab, something to get the punish, so he can't just down air on stage for free and get away with it. I also know that his F tilt is minus 7 on shield, so if he goes for an F tilt on my shield, I might be able to grab it, but if he pushes me too far away, then it's not going to work. But if it's minus 7, that means I can't throw out a fair, because my fair is frame 10 out of shield. And if he goes for a down tilt, I will jump over him, and then he will get a punish, and it'll be a very sad day. Or he'll be able to dash away and then throw out another F tilt, and I will jump into that. However, if I go for a nair out of shield, my nair is frame 3. With a jump squat, it makes it frame 6 out of shield. So I have one frame to mess around with and find out. And I can actually throw that move out and get a punish on his F tilt. And this is a player who is quite good. So like I had mentioned, he's not going to spam moves on shield. He's not going to fuck up basically ever. So I have to have a very rock solid neutral as well. The next part of having a very good neutral is also being able to space your moves safely and pay attention to the little swoosh or lightning strike that comes out around your character's move. You'll notice when I throw out a move like a forward tilt or a down tilt, there's like a little puff of smoke or a little blue swoosh or whatever you want to call it, and that is the range of my hitbox. If that is out in front of me and it can hit their shield and I'm not right up on their shield, that is the spacing I want to have. That is super important. I see a lot of players who have good decision making with the moves that they use, but their spacing is absolutely horrific. So start using your control stick to the best of your ability and start walking in neutral and being quite patient. A huge other part that is very important in neutrals as well, right there, you just saw me go for a down tilt and dash away or walk away, I will say. And what you need to do in that case is pay attention to how your opponent reacts to what you do. Don't think to yourself, I gotta just throw out attack, so if they just jump in for no reason, I'll have them run into a move because I'm already busy doing my attack and they shouldn't have done anything. Because a good player will not just jump on you because they feel like it. If they see that you're throwing out random attacks, they will wait until you calm down, or they will wait until you make a misinput and then they will punish you. It's also incredibly important to point out as well too, he was at 184%, I'm at 170%, it's been 3 minutes off the clock and only one stock has been taken. Against good players, they are not going to let you kill them. I'm gonna say that again because a lot of you guys don't understand this. They're not going to let you kill them. You have to find an opening that you create yourself from them making a mistake. If they don't make a mistake, they're probably not going to just jump on you or dash attack your shield for free, for fun, so you get a kill and you feel great. That's one of the things that a lot of you players make a huge mistake with, and I will say it's quite cringe. It happens all the time when we play at arenas, especially on stream, where players will just jump on me because they just want to. They think that I'm going to just drop shield, or I'm going to just dash attack in, or I'm going to just throw out a smash attack, or dash back and start charging something. Against a good player, they don't do that. They will never do that because they know the repercussions of making a silly, stupid mistake. It typically means death against a good player, so they're not going to just let you kill them for free. And so since someone is not going to let you kill them for free, what does that mean? That means that obviously they're trying to win, and if there's time on the clock and they are not dead, they're not going to just run in and die for no reason. They're going to take you to time if that's what it takes. I made a video a very long time ago talking about the art of patience, and this was a video that I was talking about Mars and T at the Clash of the Pandas a very long time ago. This is a tournament that happened a very long time ago, and the message in that video was, this is the main takeaway, so I'm going to just save you some time on that one. The message in that video was, a game takes as long as it has to. And I'm going to say that again. A game takes as long as it has to. If you have to go to time, then you have to go to time. If you want to just win because you feel like you can, you're probably going to lose. Not always, I will say, there's a chance that you actually pull it out, but if they're holding back and you're holding forwards, defense typically wins. In case you have not seen a player by the name of Sonics or Acola playing Steve or Sonic or any of these other players or other characters, if you have the opportunity to play defense, you will most likely win. If you just try and cook your opponent because you feel like it, you will die. Like you saw, I just died right there. I'm not sure what percent I was at right there, I will say, but it's going not quite great, I will say at this point, but there's only 2 minutes left, and If I can't kill him, then of course in the Elite Smash you will go to sudden death, but if I'm able to get him all the way to the end and potentially go to time, I would take that as a win. I would take it as a win because he's a pro player, and I know that the scoreboard would not reflect that I in fact won, but as you can see right here, there's a minute and 50 seconds left and the score is essentially tied. Actually completely tied perfectly for a second there. But quickly, what I want to try and give to you is the, I guess, all-encompassing package as to what you need to do to actually have good neutral. Once you've learned what your character's fast moves are, and you know what is considered safe, and you know what your punishes are, and you know how to play the clock and have a strong mentality to not just rush in and YOLO lose because you want to. Like right there, that side B was quite bad on my part, I will say. But I'm trying to get damage on him because I really don't want to go to sudden death. And I do try and actually kill him here, and I ended up selling the game. This is something that you don't want to do. I had full right to win this game. I absolutely did, but I choked it like a dumbass bitch at the end and I ended up losing. Fair play on his part, but a bad play on mine, I will say. But ultimately, what makes you have a good neutral is being unbelievably patient and also knowing mathematically what you can and cannot do. Nobody has the ability to manipulate the frame data in a game, so if somebody throws something out that is -7, or if MKLeo throws it out and it is -7, guess what? It will always be -7. Here's the difference though. MKLeo will throw that move out substantially less, and he'll also throw it out in spots where it is in fact safe to do so, whereas a lesser player will just do it because they don't understand frame data or the mathematics behind the game that says if you do this you will die, or if you do this it is in fact safe. That is the only difference between a good player and a bad player, and just like that, absolutely getting destroyed at the end. Kind of popped off right there. Good stuff to WebJP because he absolutely did cook me. It was a hard-fought game that went right down to the wire, but he did in fact win the game, and I will say I ended up playing him quite a few times later on in this evening, and I lost every single game. Sometimes I lost incredibly quickly as well too, because I tried to push the envelope and just win because I wanted to, and I got fucking murdered for trying. Sometimes I got 3-stocked and sometimes we had games like that. Hopefully this video helped you sum up what you're looking for as far as having good neutral, but I will say that having good neutral is an enigma. It is something that is practiced forever. It's like being as strong as you can possibly be, or as fast as you can possibly be, or as flexible as you can possibly be. It's almost impossible to be too good at any of those attributes in real life, and it's the same thing with this. Having too good of neutral is not a thing, so continue to practice, and hopefully this video did help you. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later on stream.